It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 26th of July. I'm Michael Groff. Showers and thunderstorms once again came into the valley last night. The main impact was strong, damaging straight-line winds, and we did have some wind damage across the area. We had some power outages and just a lot of blowing dust. Once again, thunder, lightning, and there were some of you that did pick up some rain. Now, out here at Studio B, where I was last night, yeah, we did get some brief heavy rain, about 1/4 of an inch very quickly. But I know that there was plenty of you, including Sky Harbor Airport, that did not see any measurable rain. So let's talk about chances for rain as we go through the day today, this weekend, going into next week. Do we have any more monsoon thunderstorm possibilities? What about temperatures? We'll talk about all of that and everything else in just a moment. But before we do, it is Friday, and that means it's Photo Friday here. That is where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. First up, David Parnell. This is a picture that is from last year. He wanted to send this in. So this is was taken around sometime in February of last year, and I spaced out where this was taken at. I'm sorry, David. As a Catholic high school. I don't remember which one right off the top of my head right now. Sometimes you get to be my age, and you start forgetting things. You just get so damn forgetful, you don't even know your own name anymore. Now, this is from Andrew looking at these storms coming into the West Valley. Yes, this was a pretty common sight this week. We actually had a few nights with storms coming on in. I wish it would have translated to more precipitation, but at least some active weather around. Then we go to some pictures from Billy. This is the Buckhorn fire that he and his crew are working out there in eastern Arizona. He did say that luckily they had plenty of rain over that way, so that makes it a little bit easier to fight a fire when you get rain. Now, of course, you don't want to see lightning because obviously that could spark more fires, but obviously it's a good thing to see that going on. We do have plenty of wildfires across the state. It's always good to see these kinds of pictures from the firefighters and people working hard to keep those under control. And then let's go to a picture here from Buck, actually a few pictures from Buck, and these are again up in Montana, big sky country. And some great shots up there. Buck and his wife have these pictures, and again, just love to see that. We don't just like to look at things, shots from Arizona. We accept from everywhere. We've had all across the country, all across North America, and internationally. So all those pictures always welcome here. And then, speaking of always welcome, you've got these pictures from Joe. Now, he said that his family, they took a vacation up to Heber. Oh, man. Now I'm getting hungry. See, yeah, you put food pictures into your selections here that you send to me. They're always going to get on the video somehow. I will find a way to put those food pictures on there. It looks good. So it looks like he and his family had a great time. Always got to bring the dogs up there. The one and only Michelle and myself, we did the same thing last weekend. Packed up the dogs, packed up the girls, went up to northern Arizona for a day trip, and with a hike with some fine folks. Had a great time, and so that was good. It's always good. So great to see that. This is from Kyle in Oro Valley. Beautiful picture there. And then we have a few shots, again, from northern Arizona, courtesy of Sally. These are beautiful pictures. And, of course, accompanying story here, as they were making their way back south toward the valley, they ran into some strong thunderstorms. They wanted to get a picture of the moon rise. Well, they got a picture of the moon, all right. There it is. But then they got plenty of mud, and then they encountered a road closure. The Agua Fria River blocked the road they were trying to cross. They had to wait till 3 a.m. But they did eventually get home, and that's all that matters, I guess. Then we've got some video. Let's take a look at that. Ryan Seek. He's got his time-lapse videos. We'll take a look at that. Once again, big storm developing down to the south. These were where Ryan mostly takes his pictures down there between Casa Grande and Gila Bend on I-8. He lives down there near Maricopa, so always good to watch these. He's been our resident monsoon photographer, videographer for quite some time, so love to see those. And then we've got a couple of pictures or a couple of videos. Again, Joe in Santan. If I can get this to where, there you go. There's some vivid lightning. Good light show. We had plenty of those this week. I was going to roll some footage of light show that I captured here from Wednesday night, but figured that we had so many photos and videos for this week that it would be a little bit too much. And this video might be 45 minutes if I started including some of the pictures I took. But there you go. Photo Friday. We do it each and every week. grofshow@gmail.com. That is the email address for your submissions. GROFFshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. Okay, let's get into it here. The almanac from yesterday, 112 degrees was the afternoon high. 82 was the low. That occurred at 11:59 p.m. thanks to the storms around. But there it is officially at Sky Harbor International Airport, just a trace of rain. And that was kind of the theme. There was rain around the valley, and where you got it, it was coming down and pretty hard in some spots, but unfortunately for Sky Harbor, not there. 106 and 85 are the averages for this time of year. We're still ahead on rainfall, but we'll see if we can get some more later today. All right, checking the upper level weather pattern across the nation right now. We've got high pressure still in control, although a trough coming into the Pacific Northwest is beginning to suppress that ridge further to the south. It's now located off of northern Baja. The flow aloft is going to switch more out of the northwest, and that is going to start to dry us out. That is not a necessarily favorable flow for bringing storms into the valley, although a few storms may develop across northwest Arizona today and be pushed south and southeastward toward us. But then this weekend does look to be pretty quiet, and maybe even the first half of next week. All right, the watch warning map. We've got heat still an issue for parts of the west. We've got an air quality alert here in Maricopa County once again for elevated ozone levels. And look at that, a heat advisory in effect for eastern North Dakota. Fargo, Grand Forks, Grafton, Walhalla, Cavalier. It's going to be a hot one today. Temperatures well up into the 90s. And with those high humidity values that they're expecting today, heat indexes will be well over 105 in the peak heat of the day. Convective outlook for today. We've got a risk of severe storms again across parts of the northern plain states, north of Arizona, near the Great Salt Lake. And for us here in Arizona, we've got that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe storms again across southeastern Arizona, butting up against the East Valley. And the primary threat from any storms today will be, again, strong, damaging straight-line winds. Of course, the secondary threats, blowing dust, brief heavy rain, lightning, all that. But yes, there could be a few storms that put out some severe wind gusts once again today. Now, the threat here in the valley is diminished considerably from where we were yesterday and on Wednesday evening, but we could still see a few storms. We'll talk about that in modeling in just a moment. The precipitation outlook, this is valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, not much, if we see anything at all. Of course, your amount will vary, and it is possible that some spot could pick up a locally heavy downpour. But generally speaking, we're going to dry out and stay dried out for at least a few days. Just how long, we'll get into the details of that right now as we take a look at the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run, and it's valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. High pressure continues to get pushed, squelched to the south. The upper heights still up there, but coming down just a bit from where they have been. So what it means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, we'll turn partly cloudy this afternoon. There's going to be some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms that develop mainly to the north and east and maybe southeast of us. But with steering flow out of the northwest, again, that's not a great direction to bring storms in here. However, the high-resolution guidance seems to believe that storms will fire up across Mojave and Yavapai counties and push south and eastward toward us. In fact, this is the HRRR, an animation coming off of the HRRR throughout the day today. And you can see by this afternoon, yep, those storms do come in from the northwest and slide on toward the valley. And we've seen several runs of our convective allowing models that seem to indicate that could happen. And there is certainly enough instability and still enough moisture around that is a possibility for this afternoon. So we'll put a 20% chance of showers and storms into our forecast for this evening. Otherwise, high temperatures this afternoon should be around 108 to 112. Tonight, lows mostly in the 80s to near 90. And then tomorrow, I'd say mostly sunny and just plain old hot. Highs 108 to 112. It's the same forecast on Sunday. Yes, there will be widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms over the higher terrain, but I think we're going to stay dry. Same story Monday. A few storms in east central and southeast Arizona, but dry for us. High temperatures probably fall off just a bit with the presence of troughing to the north and west and our ridge being pushed down a bit. And really the same story Tuesday, highs 105 to 109, more or less the same on Wednesday, although by this time, the ridge is expected to begin to build back to the north and east toward the Four Corners region. And forecast uncertainty comes into the mix because a number of our ensemble members, especially in the GFS ensemble suite, indicate that an inverted trough will be swinging around that building ridge back toward the southwestern United States. And if that happens, we'll see an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms by about Wednesday or Thursday. High temperatures are going to be toasty because the ridge is building back in and it is strengthening. And so I expect highs will be once again on the bad side of 110 degrees, but at least widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms should be in here. Even though the GFS, the deterministic modeling here, really is not that bullish on moisture. All right. Here's a week from today. This is Friday, the 2nd of August. And you can see it's a 597 ridge, and it's sitting to the north of us. Now, it's a very strong ridge. Ideally, we wouldn't want to see quite that intense a ridge because it means that we'll have warmer air aloft, but it is at least in a favorable position to bring some monsoon moisture in here. So the threat of widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms will be with us if this verifies, but it's also going to be quite hot. I'd say highs 110 to 115 if this is accurate. Going out 10 days, this is Sunday, the 4th of August. The ridge a little bit weaker. Now sitting just to the east of us, more of an elongated ridge that extends over much of the southern tier of the United States. Still, though, that would be a favorable position to bring moisture in here. And, of course, the GFS also has a tropical cyclone off of Baja down there. But in this setup, that wouldn't be a factor. And look, it's questionable whether that even develops at all. The GFS loves to do that this time of year. It loves to develop these rogue tropical systems. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. Even if that one happened, in this setup, we would see very little impact, if any at all, from that feature. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS ensemble, here's a surprise. Every member has measurable rain for us, and the ensemble means about a half an inch. This is nothing unusual. This has been the ensemble output for several weeks, and no surprise, the European ensemble is almost completely opposite. Very little precipitation. The ensemble mean about 1/10 of an inch. Many members show no rain at all for the next 2 weeks, as this does go out through the 9th of August. So GFS says, half inch of rain. European says, don't get your hopes up, kid. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models, don't get your hopes up for a cooling trend either, because high temperatures will stay at or above average. In fact, maybe way above average for quite some time, as there's just no sign of any big synoptic scale pattern changes, no sign of broad ridging weakening for any prolonged period of time. And we're just waiting for that big monsoon event that, we've had these storms come in, but we're waiting for a widespread thunderstorm outbreak that just dumps a massive amount of rain here in southern Arizona and gives us a couple days where we can break up the heat. I wouldn't hold my breath on that, but in many summers, that happens. Just so happens that it did not happen last year. It did not happen in 2020. It did not happen in 2019. We have not had great monsoon seasons. Really, the last 10 years, there have been few. 2021 was pretty good. Actually, it was quite good. 2022 was not bad, albeit it ended kind of early. But we could really use just a real good soaker around here, a widespread soaker, not just, yesterday or the other day, Apache Junction had 1.5 inches of rain in about 45 minutes. We had some very heavy rain down in parts of Pima County, parts of Pinal County, just southwest of Buckeye. There was some very heavy rain that prompted a flash flood warning. We've had some areas get a deluge, but they've been pretty isolated in nature. So we'd love to see a widespread rain event. Will we get that anytime soon? Well, not looking that great for it, at least not for the next 5 or 6 days. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here on Monday morning, but of course, updates before that if necessary. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, and of course you do, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really like what we do here, then click that thanks icon below the video. Make those monetary contributions to us. Or you can donate directly to our PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is the address over there for PayPal. That is groffshow@gmail.com. Want to thank Clayton once again for another donation. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, thank you because the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Check out her blogs. Check out everything Michelle-related linked up down in the description. And also check out our streaming station, available 24/7, 365. It is called KMGX. We play a ton of music, have a lot of fun with that, so do give that a listen as well. All right. Once again, thank you so much for watching. All of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. We could not do this without you guys. So please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and you guys have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.